What's up, guys? With World Walkers just now being released a few days after making this video, I think it's time to look at some stats. If you haven't looked at my previous video, I've taken a look at the top 10 cards that are probably going to make a huge impact on the game. I also looked and ranked the 4 champions being released, and if you saw that video, here's a little spoiler alert. The top 2 champions that I put in that video are now number 1. And it's because they were designed to be good together, and they definitely overhauled these 2 champions. They really wanted Annie to be good. And they also put Jhin in a position of a lot of power and potential. Bard, however, kind of got the short end of the stick where they're just trying to experiment. And then Illaoi is honestly just a solid card, and I can definitely see her maybe blossom into a very top 20 tier champion. But this is where these decks are at, with Annie Jhin being a solid 58.9%, highest win rate so far. But this is also a lot of saturation because all these cards are new. These stats are going to be a little weird because so many people are playing it. So many people are probably losing. But if we take a look at the worst decks, we're going to see Yasuo and Jhin. If you saw my champions video, I believe I made a specific note that they should not be played together because there's too much conflicting interest going on. And what I mean by that is they both play off of stunning the enemy. However, they don't work well by themselves. You need someone or something to empower them. And you also want to protect them. So having both of them, you're going to be stretching your resources out. And you either want to, in this situation, you would rather have them play solo or have a champion to support them. For example, with Yasuo, a lot of people have used Leona and Cat just because they empower Yasuo to flip faster. But moving on, let's check out some other stats. Archetypes is probably one of the lamest stats, in my opinion, just because it doesn't really tell you too much, in my opinion. However, let's look at the best win rate, and the best archetype is J4 Illaoi. Thank you. 58.7%. If we go back, Katarina, Elise, Viego. Wow, that's an interesting combination going on there. But apparently that's really good right now at 58.5. J4 Twisted Fate Illaoi. We're seeing a lot of these interesting combination 3-tier champions. But once again, I really don't like this one because if you guys go to the decks, it's like, well, top 5, these are the best performing decks. However, on average, these decks are doing the best in that kind of like that middle section. There's probably a lot of variations of these decks. So I don't really like the archetypes right now. Moving on to regions. We have Noxus and the new region Rutarian, which is basically, so far it's just Jhin and Bard. How it works is they have a special gimmick. So for Jhin, it's skills. If any champion has a skill, you can put him with Jhin, and that's why when you go to decks, you can see all these bonus regions with Jhin. That's his doing. That's all the champions that have it. And let's look at win rate, and we see J4 and probably Illaoi, probably J4 and probably Illaoi taking this top spot, which is very different than the decks. But once again, I think that pure deck is winning more than anyone else. However, this region across the board is doing better. It looks like Deep is doing pretty well as well, and Viego is sneaking up once again. However, both of these win rates are very drastically different, proving to me that there's a lot of disparity, right? There's people definitely more skillful than others in these regions, just something to know. And then we have cards, and I'm so happy because I've been checking this so often, and I can tell you right now, Demacia is dominating wholeheartedly. Quinn, who has not been talked about a whole lot so far in this video, is number 1. And then we have Elmheart, second place, probably tied with Quinn. J4, probably because of Quinn and a little bit of Lowy, bringing him up with a solid 56.9% win rate with his Cataclysm. And then lastly is Broadwing, which 2-mana, basically 3/3 Challenger, such a solid card. And I believe, yep, Demacia is just taking top 10 cards in the game right now. That is pretty incredible. And to compare this, let me show you guys the top 3 cards before this deck was released. And I'm sorry for the different language. Mobilytics just hates me and they think I'm in a different country. But we have the 2/1 Spider with Fearsome, the 3/2 Marauder, maybe even 3/1 Marauder that can't block, and then LeBlanc's Kill Spell. And they all were up 59% win rate. If we look here, vastly higher than what's going on right now, but that's just because of the disparity with all the new cards coming in right now and everything like that. And we can see that very different, that these cards were being used more often than these. So a lot of interesting stuff, but I want to say that the most important thing is that we basically just did a hard switch from Noxus to Demacia, because I'm pretty sure Noxus had the top 10 cards last release, and now we're here with the top 10 Demacia cards are the best cards in the game. And I wonder what's going to happen, because I don't think any balance changes are going to come into play. Maybe a few hot fixes, but I don't think that's going to impact any of these cards. So they need to get on that. Now, the second thing I want to show you guys is actually the top champions. And the top 3 are once again Demacian with Quinn, J4, and Lux. Now, we do get Nautilus from the deep deck. We saw that in the Dex stats, that they were on the rise. We also saw Elise going in with Katarina and Viego. That's pretty interesting too. 54, 54, 54, and then we get this huge spike here with these two at 56 and 57. And if we look, oh wait, that is the wrong one. I'm sorry, guys. But if we look over here, guess who's number 1? Quinn still, with Miss Fortune, averaging 57.8. And, that is still higher. We also had Gameplank. Elise is still going strong. And then Darius. This is something I like to see more often. I like to see, in the top 5, I would like to see at least 3 different regions to kind of show the health of the game. And that's kind of what we got right now, but I don't like that the top 3 champions are all Demacian. That's somewhat problematic to me, especially since Quinn is still up there. Who knows? We'll see what's going on. But that is just some stats that we have going on right now. I'm going to be monitoring this and bringing up any interesting facts that come out of this. So please subscribe if you want to see more of that. Like if you like this content. And tell me in the comment section below, how did you feel about this? Did you find anything surprising? Or is there something specific you want me to look at? For example, what is the top champion? Well, actually, I can't do that because I don't have Mobilytics Plus. But that's what's going on. Let me know if anything catches your eye, if you find anything interesting. But until next time, peace.